if there's any forgiveness, as a Christian myself, that should be done in private. But I am so angry with Harry, so angry with Meghan, right? She's the catalyst of this all. And at the end of the day, if you marry someone, you don't encourage that person to go on telly and slag off the royal family. I'm black, and whether the royal family is racist or not, I don't give a damn, because black is killing black anyway. So at the end of the day, the knife crime is mainly us black stabbing each other. So if the royal family is racist, that's their problem. Well, I have nothing against the royal family, but with Harry now, from the time he wrote that book, Spare, disrespected Prince William about a fight. No one needs to know these things. Stop beating your family in public, Prince Harry. Leave them alone. And Meghan, as a wife,
Krista agrees
you
with
need
this.
to tell him to calm down.
Absolutely. Why are you against Meghan?
Come on, and the reason why I mention that, with Camilla, if Harry's got something against Camilla, you just can't help who you fall in love with. You just can't.
Well,
yes. My curious Sussex family, have you heard the liquid intelligence of Brits tabloids? It takes an astonishing level of ignorance and unchecked bias to open your mouth on national television and declare that Meghan is the catalyst of all that went wrong in the British royal family. And yet Alexis did just that. With Jeremy Vine nodding along like a decorative bobblehead, the two cemented themselves into the ever-growing gallery of media personalities who've made it their mission to deflect blame from the monarchy and instead unload it onto Meghan Sussex, because, heaven forbid, someone challenged the colonial rot tucked beneath velvet robes and jewelled crowns. To anyone with eyes, ears, and a functioning moral compass, Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview was never a betrayal. It was an act of survival, a reckoning, a truth bomb dropped on an establishment that for centuries has papered over its sins with tradition and tea parties. And what has been the response from some corners of the British media? Outrage. Not over the racism revealed, not over the mental health battles faced by a pregnant woman, but outrage that it was spoken about at all. Let's begin with Alexis. Alexis, as seen in the clip, claimed furiously that Meghan shouldn't have gone on television to slag off the royal family, and that the race issues raised were private. Excuse us, Alexis, but racism is not a private matter. It is a public disease. Keeping it hidden, as the royal family so expertly does, is precisely the problem. And calling Meghan the catalyst is like blaming the fire alarm for the flames. Meghan didn't cause the palace's rot. She simply refused to choke on the smoke. To suggest Meghan orchestrated this like a puppet master pulling Prince Harry's strings is not only lazy, but insulting. It reduces Harry to a brainless consort and Meghan to some villainous enchantress. But this is what happens when certain media figures are allergic to a black woman with intelligence, dignity, and agency. They prefer their duchesses silent, suffering, and smiling. Then we come to Jeremy Vine, ever the illusionist, posing as a neutral arbiter while giving platforms to people like Alexis to spew venom unchallenged. He sat there, sipping his faux impartiality, while Alexis unravelled a twisted narrative that reeked of coded bigotry. Jeremy's sin isn't loud ignorance. It's the quiet shrug of complicity. He knows exactly what's being said. He knows what calling Meghan the catalyst means. He knows what it implies about her identity, her intentions, her very presence in the royal family. And yet, he chooses not to challenge it, because challenging it would mean disturbing the well-oiled machinery of British tabloid culture, where Harry and Meghan are the daily punching bags. What Alexis and Vine fail to grasp, or perhaps deliberately ignore, is that Meghan didn't go looking for war. The war found her. When stories were planted in the press, when staff leaked against her, when she was painted as an angry black woman simply for breathing too loudly. Where were Alexis and Jeremy then? Silent. The true catalyst wasn't Meghan. It was the firm's refusal to protect her, the institution that spun fairy tales for Kate Middleton while throwing Meghan under a racist bus. That made Harry's choice for him. Stay and let your wife die inside, or leave and fight for her outside. And thank the heavens he chose the latter. Prince Harry is not the prince the establishment hoped he'd be. He's better, stronger, braver, a man who saw what the press did to his mother and refused to let history repeat itself with his wife. Harry didn't abandon his family. He rescued it from a legacy of silence, repression, and fear. What Alexis calls betrayal, history will record as courage. While his brother remains shackled to the Crown's PR machine, Harry broke free. And it was not Meghan who pushed him, it was the system that pulled them both to the brink. When Meghan said she wanted to end her life and was told it would be bad optics, that wasn't just a red flag, it was a royal indictment. Meghan stood before Oprah and did what no one in the family had dared to do. She told the truth. Calmly, elegantly, unapologetically. That truth to Alexis and Jeremy was inconvenient, but to many across the world, especially women and people of colour, it was liberating. She broke the palace's iron rule of never complain, never explain, not to smear, but to survive. Meghan's existence itself challenged the archaic traditions of the monarchy, and rather than adapt, they turned on her. So let's be clear. If your institution collapses under the presence of one woman of colour, it was never stable to begin with. The outrage machine spun by the tabloids wouldn't function without enablers like Jeremy Vine. Day after day, show after show, they roll out commentators who echo the same lines. Meghan is a narcissist, Harry is weak, the monarchy is under attack. But what they're really defending isn't the monarchy. It's a narrative. One that sees diversity as disruption and truth as betrayal. It's the same media that protected Prince Andrew longer than they protected Meghan. Let that sink in. While Alexis fumes and Jeremy hosts another unbothered segment, the world has moved on. The US embraced Meghan and Harry with open arms. Young people globally admire their courage. Conversations about mental health, race and toxic tradition are louder than ever, and that is their legacy. Not the royal family's desperate photo ops, not their hollow press releases, but Meghan's voice and Harry's loyalty. That's what history will remember. To Alexis, your rage is misdirected. If Meghan makes you uncomfortable, it says more about your values than hers. If speaking the truth about racism makes you cringe, check your privilege, not her courage. To Jeremy Vine, you don't get to wash your hands while others light the match. Giving bigotry airtime without resistance is not balance, it's betrayal. Meghan and Harry didn't break the monarchy. They exposed it. They didn't seek exile. They found freedom. And every attack from bitter pundits only makes their message louder. They are the face of modern royalty. A royalty of compassion, not cruelty. Of substance, not silence. While their critics scream into microphones, Meghan and Harry walk tall, in love, in truth, and in power. Let the palace panic. Let the media rage. The Sussexes are building something far greater than titles. They're building a legacy. Long may it last. To all my curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching, and do not forget to like, subscribe and put a comment. Bye-bye, see you on our next episode then.